Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Packer Universe podcast, aka the Pup List. We're a Green Bay Packers fan podcast that brings you topical and relevant Packers news, along with their most humble, subjective, nice opinions. This is episode 340. Recording this live on a Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025. The Packers lost in Soldier Field on Saturday night to the Bears, but we're back at home this week against the Ravens in week 17. We'll find out who's naughty or nice, but one person that's naughty for sure is my co-host, the one and only
Ren. What up, Tay? Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to all the Packer Universe podcast listeners out there. Hit the like, subscribe, because it's Christmas. You know, do us a solid, right?
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Packers.
Now, I was going to say, you got a little Hans McClane thing going on there with your goatee. You can just do your falling for me, you know? There you go. Nice.
Yeah. Well,
is that our episode? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? That's this whole episode, I think.
I mean, it is, but you know, a lot of people like to chime in and say it's not.
Macaulay Culkin said
it's not,
could be any time of year.
He's a little biased though. He's got, pretty much capitalized on the one of the greatest Christmas movies in the last, 30 years. What is it? 35 years.
It's that old, Tay. Yep.
So, Home Alone's probably up there in the top 5 for people, I would think. Maybe not classic, but
I think it's pretty much classic at this point.
Now it is, yeah. I mean, shoot, we grew up with that, right? We were, teenagers when that came out. So
were we even teenagers? I want to say it was 91. It's a John Hughes film, Tay.
We were.
I want to say 91. We weren't. Yeah, I guess we were quite. Just about into our early teens. 90 or 91. 90 or 91. That was so.
Okay. Yeah, that was middle school era for us. So we're dating ourselves now, but if you want to leave a comment below, man, anybody, I think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It was requested by my family last year, and we watched it during the season. So I was thankful enough that my wife and daughter said we could watch that. So I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. Obviously, Die Hard 2 takes place on Christmas too, but that one never gets talked about. I think it's the lesser one of the first two, but
the third one's much better with Samuel.
Yes, that one is great. But you think I look like Hans? Little Hans action?
Just a little bit. You got the goatee. I
appreciate that. Yeah, thanks.
Well, nothing like being a supervillain, Tay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Kind of like Romeo Dobbs on Saturday night.
Yeah, he pulled a boss stick on us, but I guess we had a pretty man, I don't even know what you call it, tough first take on Saturday night. But a lot of our opposition chimed in on our episode, Ren.
Didn't they make one of those kind of go semi-viral, Tay? Because we gotta cope. Amongst many other unmentionable things said to us in the comments, Tay. But thank you, Bears fans, for helping the Packer Universe podcast out. It is greatly appreciated. We'll take the hate. Keep coming. You guys got a win that you shouldn't have gotten, and enjoy it.
We're sticking to it,
and we'll cope, Tay.
We'll cope. I mean, when you go into watching two dudes that are obviously Packers fans, probably from Wisconsin by our accents, hey, we're homers,
Tay,
right?
We are super fans, just like the Bears fans.
We're sickos. We're sickos. But I mean, wouldn't you yeah, I know you're watching it, but do you, I'm grateful for the comments and all the activity, but I mean, you and I aren't going to sit there and go, you know what? Yeah, the Packers, they suck, and and it was their fault. And we're Packers fans. Like, we see it through that lens. Of course, we're going to say these certain things a certain way. It's never going to happen. I'm never going to say I'm not a Packers fan. It's like, it's ride or die, man. And I think we all kind of collectively, Packer Universe, all the fan base out there, points to a few things in that game that changed the outcome. Romeo Doubs pulled a Bostic, and not really sure what's going on. There's no excuse for it. This is just what happened, right? Like, these are things that happened.
They had as people have pointed out, they had a 99.5% winning probability with a little less than 3 minutes remaining. Tay, it just tells you everything had to go a la, as people pointed out, kind of similar to the NFC Championship debacle in Seattle this week. That one's been revisited. Isn't it great to have a loss that's so improbable? You get to relive those memories. That's a fun one. But
Ren, we're wrong though, because we think that the best team didn't win. Like, the Packers, we're wrong.
Everything, time of possession, yardage, red zone appearances. The Bears were, I want to say, 2 of 10 on third down in that game, Tay. Not good. The Bears weren't good. They weren't the better team, and we could still say that today. It's just that the Packers gift wrap some stuff for them, and they walk out, with the victory. And Green Bay should, take that one personally and put it on themselves, and hopefully they're ready to go here in a couple days on Saturday, because that's the reality, and we're going to get into it here in a little bit. But, yes, Romeo, he took it. He accepted it. He said it. He manned up. That's good. He should. He screwed it up. And listen, it was more on him than special teams. But as I said to you going into the bye week, and that was a long time ago, Tay, Rich Bisaccia should not have returned after the bye. If you recall,
that was week 5.
About it then.
Yeah.
And now special teams can be attributed to 3 losses on the season. And it's never been special. And can you say, well, was it really special teams, or just one guy making a mistake? And essentially, it's mostly one guy in this one particular play making a mistake. But nonetheless, the mistakes over the years, Tay, have just, added up and added up and added up and added up. And generally, the unit is a bottom 5 unit every year.
Bottom feeder.
And you have the highest paid special teams coordinator in the league. And the Rams last week, after their debacle with the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday Night Football, said to their special teams coordinator, it's time to hit the road.
Yeah.
And that was that. And we know Matt LaFleur is very loyal, and I'm sure Rich is a good dude. A lot of the players think he's a good dude, but this is a results-driven business, and the results haven't been good enough. And I don't think Rich Bisaccia, if he's being honest, would say the results have been good enough.
I think the Packers made maybe a potential mistake by giving him additional duties, right? He's the assistant to the head coach, or assistant head coach.
He's assistant head coach, yeah.
Senior, or whatever they want to call it. But that could be looked at as a mistake. We like to do that here. Promote within, add duties, flush out everything. Like got to get everyone on the same page, all inputs necessary. But when your special teams coach is now tied into something else, it's a little hard to pull off that Band-Aid, right? So is that a mistake? Yeah, probably, because maybe Matt LaFleur depends on him for other things. So at least strip him of the special teams coaching, position, and just move him up, whatever you want to do. But that could be some of the problem. But yeah, I think Packers are typically pretty conservative, pretty loyal to that process. They let guys and coaches hang around quite too long sometimes. With
Joe Barry,
defensive coordinators, Dom Capers. So yeah, doesn't surprise me, but I think wouldn't you like to see that? Maybe a little breath of, fresh air, a little balsam tree scent in the air, just whisking him away to wherever he wants to go. Maybe he can be the new head coach of the 7 teams that are going to be probably head coachless on Black Monday in a week and a half. So
you're saying Rich?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Sure. He's old. Some old team, like, someone will want him.
I think that head coaching moment has passed him by.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had the Bears game, so let's, try to be a little more festive here. Put
this
a little
is
more
Tay.
cheer.
Do you know what day it is? Do you know what day it is?
The 23rd?
Yes.
Tuesday?
It's the 23rd of December.
Christmas Eve.
Which
4 months from my birthday.
You know what holiday is the 23rd of December?
Oh, yes. I know. Do you have the poll somewhere, Ren? Is it the Festivus?
I got a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about it.
Let's hear about it. What do you got?
Well, I mean, that's why we're talking about this Bears game, and that's the angry voice for the Packers.
Let's get
a lot of problems with them in that last few minutes of that football game and the red zone and all those issues, Tay, and that's been a thorn in their side. Listen, Tay, just 2 weeks ago we were riding high on a 4-game heater, and now today we feel pretty low,
pretty cold.
That's how quick it can change when your football team goes 1 for 9 in the red zone. Oof. In 2 consecutive games. They go from, I want to say they were 3rd best in the red zone in the NFL with 68% conversion percentage for touchdown. And just in 2 weeks, Tay, they've dropped to middle of the pack, pun intended, I suppose, down to 58% when you're 1 of 9. Brutal. Both games in which you held 9-point leads, just crap it right down your legs. So, yeah, I got a lot of problems with the Packers, Tay.
Well, I think we were down there. We were down in the red zone, and we were throwing into the end zone. It just wasn't working. That 4th and 1 to miss to Watson, I was just like, what are you doing? Just get the first down. I think you can get the first down there. So it's just like, it was frustrating for sure. But really quickly, let me ask you a question. Do you think we would have won if Jordan Love had stayed in the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I think Malik Willis did an admirable job.
Oh,
and
sure. I want to say 9 for 11, $121.
I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried at all. And when he was hitting those passes, I mean, he looked great. I mean, there's got to be teams drooling like they don't have that guy on their roster. So
there's going to be some teams like the Colts or the Cardinals. Certainly could use a guy like Malik Willis. I mean, think about being down in the desert, nice weather. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., some other. You got the young upstart tight end down there who's good. They got some nice little pieces. Certainly would look a heck of a lot better down there with Malik Willis than Kyler Murray. So yeah, Malik's definitely gonna get some interest as a starting quarterback when it comes to free agency in the offseason. We'll get there. We'll talk about it. It'll be an interesting piece to see what kind of teams, maybe vie for his services. But those are definitely 2 that kind of come to mind in other people's minds, I think, when you start thinking about where it might be a fit for Malik next year.
Yeah, when he comes in, I don't have any problem with it. I have confidence, and if it happens this week, so be it. I'm cool with that too. Yeah, I mean, Romeo and I think Sean Ryan was the one who took responsibility for the missed snap, or maybe it was Malik. I think it was Malik because he was like rushing the count and then botched that 4th and 1 hike.
You're talking in overtime?
Yep, in overtime. Yep. So yeah, there's a lot of problems, but I think I don't want to mention some of that referee stuff. I think in the end it's all a wash. We get it here, we take it there. It balances out. It's like the force. Just it'll balance out eventually. We get some our way, we get some against us. It's fine. But when you see that stuff, it just especially in that last play, It's just, it hurts a little bit, but there are bigger plays that affected the game a lot more. But
it was the play is the play, Tay. Yeah, it's the Dobbs Bostic relive again with a 99.5 win percent. That was ball game. I mean, like I said, just possess the football. The game's over. That was it. We got a nice win. We were about to tell Bears fans to cope in their mentions, and they were going to just whine about not having their 2 starting wide receivers. That's what I was looking forward to, because I knew, that's the well they'd go to. They'd immediately be making excuses, and now they just get to, say things that really don't make a lot of sense, but they can because they won.
The injury report, Ren, is kind of a hot topic for us.
Big time.
Matt LaFleur in his press conference today took right away, Jordan's in protocol. Malik is he's limited today. So both quarterbacks are on the injury report, and they're both, limited and up in the air. So he's basically deflecting all questions today, saying, no, we have to go through a progression this week. And later in the week, Friday, most likely, you'll know. So he likes to keep that stuff close. I think he seemed a little agitated that he was being asked relentlessly about it today. But that's what happens in these things, man.
I mean, we're talking about the most important position on the football team, and you have 2 guys who are limited, and you don't know if they're going to play today. It's kind of a big deal. He can be irritated if he wants, but guess what, Matt? That's goes with the territory. You know what I mean? I want to see with Schefter today pointed out that the Packers have not and do not appear to be signing a quarterback, which tells you.
My next question for you is, did you hear that? And I haven't heard it.
Yes, that's been said. There's no plans to sign a quarterback, which means either one or both of those 2 guys, be it Jordan or Malik, are going to be available. Because clearly, Clayton Tune, their practice squad quarterback out of Houston, Clayton Tune, he will be activated for the football game. That will be a fact. You need to at least have 2, so that tells you one of 2, if not the other 2, will be available. Will they go with 3 if all 3 can play? Yeah, they're gonna suit up 3 come Saturday night,
Remember when they made that new rule where you could have a third person hanging in the wings, in case this happens? Is that third quarterback? Does that be required to be on the roster? Is that like a free spot? Do you remember that? Do you know that?
I don't know exactly if that allows you to, because you do have to obviously have corresponding moves when you put a guy in the 53. So I don't know if you get a freebie there, Tay. I really don't. That's a good question.
Yeah.
100% Clayton Tune will be an active quarterback come Saturday, because even if both Malik and Jordan are activated and can play, who's to say there's still not a little bit of a question mark? What if Jordan takes 1 hit and he's out? What if Malik takes 1 hit to that right shoulder and he's out? They have to have the preparedness for that in their back pocket. I mean, obviously, to get to that point, probably not going to like the result you see at the end of the football game. So.
And I think what I've seen is that because Jordan Love was given the designation of limited participation, that means he's in phase 3 of the protocol, the concussion protocol. I don't know how many phases there are, but that seems to be a more later phase. So that is, I guess, good news that he could probably pull this out and still play. But we'll see. Hopefully he can be able to play, because that's your first string quarterback. Like, let's go. But I'm not too worried about Willis. But yeah, now he's got a little injury. We'll see if that right shoulder is an issue or not. He said he was operating on adrenaline at the end of the game to get through with that injury. So it's kind of hard to tell how bad it was at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that right shoulder concerns me actually more than Jordan at this point today. That's what's the severity of that right shoulder. I mean, he's got to be able to throw the football. So that's still a concern for me. Hopefully, again, he's available if needed, but I hope he is the second string guy, that being Malik, come Saturday night. And Tune's just back there as a emergency plan.
You got a couple people with illness that did not participate today, being Tuesday. That'll be fine. They'll be good to go. But do you have, again, excuse me, Zach Tom with the back and knee did not participate?
The DNP, that doesn't look good for him.
No, it does not. No. So I don't expect that really to be for him to be back. And that offensive line is it's a little banged up and I guess they're starting to play with the ones they've had lately, and maybe that helps you go forward. But a lot of escaping the pockets for Malik Willis, and which is fine. But yeah, I don't know. A couple sacks on him, I think, too.
Yeah, he was 9 of 11, like I said, and I want to say that the two he didn't complete a pass on were the 2 sacks. Yeah.
Josh Jacobs too, I think, is still banged up with that leg, and I don't know. People ask him, and people asked Matt LaFleur if they would just rather sit him, or what the process is with that. Like sit him a week, like just remove him and try to get him better.
And what's your thought? That was going to actually be my next question for you.
Okay, yeah, let's get into
him. Obviously Josh didn't really look like he should maybe have been in that game in Chicago. Emmanuel was running the football very well. I want to say, he had something like 5.1 a carry, 80 some yards on the ground. What are you doing? Are you saying, hey, give him the week off? Let's just get this to a point where he's never going to be healthy the rest of the season, Tay, but at least take a week off of it and not have him look like he did in that game in Chicago.
I think if you talk to me right now, if I'm the coach this week, I'm just saying, either do not participate or limited and just keep him really low on the practice profile, and then just make them out on Friday. Or if you have to make them a game time decision, do that. But just plan on Wilson and Brooks being in there, and just go for that. That's because you're looking at the Ravens as a lesser team. If it was going into last week against the Bears, yeah, you got to play them. I mean, you got to play your best guys in the best games, and that was last week. This week, it's a little different story. So yeah, I think I would definitely rest him if I thought that was the best course of action. And you're going to get, I mean, this is probably getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here, Ren, but you're going to get a taste of what the Detroit Lions are doing on Thursday. And we'll get into this in just a second here, but what they're doing is going to impact what you need to do on Sunday. Well, I know, but it technically, yes, it does. But does that influence Matt LaFleur in saying, I'm going to rest you because now we have a little more cushion here to deal with? And can that influence you? Does it influence you? Like, how are you treating Josh Jacobs right now with his injury?
I mean, they basically did what you said last week, Tay. They really didn't make him practice at all. He's a gamer. He'll play even if he can just barely play. We know that. But at this point, I think the way I'd treat it is I'd sit him down. Emmanuel Wilson's definitely earned the start. He's more than capable. I ride with him and Brooks for the game, and that's that. So if I need to spell a couple plays on those guys, obviously you're running some Savion or some Jaden Reed. So that's how I deal with, potential running plays with the Packers. But mostly I'm running, Emmanuel Wilson at him 15 times in that game. Easy.
Yeah. This is from our friend Rob Domofsky, friend of the podcast. These are the scenarios that get us in, and it's really simple. I mean, for once, it's like super simple. It's basically we have to win, and the Lions have to always be a step behind. So if we lose this week, they can win, but then we have to win, keep winning ourselves and having them lose. So if they're just a game behind, then we get in. So however you want to do the math on that, they could lose this week, we could lose this week, but then we have to win next week, and so do they. And yeah, they're trying to get into the wild card spot too, and which they could if we lose out 2 games. So I know you'll say it. that we have to win out to go to the playoffs, and we do.
We don't. We just have to win one.
Well,
That's
one.
It.
But
one game and they're in. It's over. Done.
Wow, isn't if we lose two, that doesn't matter?
The only way, if the Packers lose two, Tay, and the Lions win two, the Lions are in. Okay?
Yeah.
If the Lions lose even one game, the Packers are in.
Yeah.
Green Bay gets in this week with a win or a Lions loss.
Okay.
That's it. So
yeah, I guess that's what this,
essentially, okay. Do you have to win either last two? Really not, because of the tiebreakers with the Lions and the tie. But if they want to have a chance to win the division, which is still on the line, they have to win out, and the Bears lose out.
Yeah.
That's it. And listen, the Bears are going out to San Francisco this weekend, and then they have the final week in Chicago with the Lions. And whether or not the Lions still have anything to play for with regard to a potential playoff berth, I don't think a Dan Campbell team lays down, especially to his former, offensive coordinator. I don't think he's just going to, Ben, I'm just going to let you beat us. I think he'll want to whip his ass. Okay, okay, little understudy. Let's go. I'm going to take you to the woodshed, if you know what I mean. So, I still think the Packers really have to say, we got to go out and play good football, win our last two games, and see what happens. That's the attitude they should have.
You think the NFC North is still within reach for the Packers?
It is.
Do you think it is?
100%.
Okay. Yeah. You think that there's a possibility the Packers could win the NFC North?
Tell you, they just played this Bears team last week. Were you overly impressed with the Chicago Bears? I wasn't.
No, I just don't.
I think the Chicago Bears are on the rise. I think they have a good young football team. I think the offense is quality. The Bears really made a mistake by not running the football enough against the Packers. That was part of their problem. They had 150 yards in the ground today. They should have been running more. Caleb is elusive. He's got an electric arm at times. The offensive line is good. They have two good young tight ends. But what they don't have is a good defense. That defense is very meh to not great. The only thing they're good at is timely turnovers. That defense doesn't scare anybody. Can San Francisco just dropped, I don't know, nearly 50 on Indianapolis last night, and then the Lions, can both those teams beat the Bears? Absolutely. Can the Packers go beat the Ravens and the Vikings? Absolutely.
All right. Well, good. I
think I
love the optimism.
I think it's definitely a possibility, and it's not like a far-fetched one at all. So.
Well, let's get into the Ravens game. We got the Baltimore Ravens coming into town Saturday night, 7:00. 2 Saturday night games in a row. It's kind of nice. Kind of like it.
Well, it's like you said before we even got to this couple weeks ago. It's a lot better when you win, though.
Yeah, I know. Did you even watch football on Sunday?
Kind of just in the background a little bit. I did watch some football. Yeah, I was trying to get my. You got to start. You got to start moving on, man. It just.
Well, I know.
I woke up and I was still. Really couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, that's right, that happened. Jesus. But yeah, you got to start moving on. But speaking of this game, yeah, it's a Saturday night game again. This is a Peacock exclusive. So unfortunately for all Packer universe out there, unless you're living in Wisconsin and you're in the Packer TV market, it doesn't matter if we have Peacock or not. We're going to get the game on NBC. But if you're outside the market and you're a Packer fan out in California or wherever else, and we know Packer Universe is everywhere. They gotta do the stupid thing where they probably give you a free trial, but somehow you give them your credit card. And are you gonna remember to, go through the probably super sticky problems that they make you cancel this stuff with? that's what you got to do, and that's what it is. Or maybe it's just you don't even get the freebie month. You just have to buy a month. But again, hopefully remember to cancel your subscription. That's the only way you're going to be able to see that one Saturday night.
Bah humbug. I guess I don't know. I haven't been watching. I don't know a ton about the Ravens this year. All I know is that they have fallen from grace a little bit. Their quarterback, reigning MVP for a while. He's down and out with now another injury, I believe, like a back injury. Lamar Jackson, I'm talking about, and so they've just kind of fallen, and their team isn't very good anymore, at least this year. And
it's been a tough year. I want to say they started out 1-5, Tay, and they were kind of left for dead.
Yep.
And then Pittsburgh went on their swoon, and Baltimore won 5 in a row, so they got themselves right back in this thing. I want to say they were at 1.6-5. And then they've kind of, since that point, I mean, you're talking 11 games in the season, so not very long ago, they've started to really struggle again. And this is not the Ravens defense of old. I mean, I think for the last, since almost their existence in the late 90s when they became a team and they moved in the middle of the night from Cleveland to Baltimore and became the Ravens. I want to say the Packers first played the Ravens in 1998 with Brett Favre, but they've always had a good defense. Ozzie Newsome was the GM there forever, if you remember, and he was great. And they would just get defensive Hall of Famer after defensive Hall of Famer, it seemed. Ed Reed, obviously, we know the middle linebacker, Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis was a household name. And they just had a host of very, very good interior linemen throughout the years, middle linebackers throughout the years. Obviously, they traded for Roquan Smith a couple of years ago, who's on that defense. But they generally have had very good safety play as well. They've really fallen off. They're the 27th ranked overall defense in the NFL this year, which is just kind of atypical for what you think of a Baltimore Ravens football team.
Well, and you're getting to the point now where the media is talking about, at least, hey, is Harbaugh going to be on the chopping block for coaches? And you're like, what? Okay. It's like whenever a long tenured coach who has had, lots of success starts dwindling, starts fading, they're like, oh, he's got to be out. And you're like, Tomlin's got to go. And it's like, all right, hold on. So you get all that stuff. So.
And you mentioned Rich Bisaccia. I don't know why you said it, Tay, because you must have been having some holiday cheer. Could be in a head coaching position, never will be again. But John Harbaugh would be snapped up basically immediately.
Yes.
Kind of like Andy Reid moving from Philly to Kansas City. It would just be like, yep, somebody's got him. No questions asked. That guy would get a job immediately. So we'll see what happens. Sometimes maybe that's just a good change of pace because he has been there for so long. But I don't think they'd be much better off with a new coach right away. I mean, we know that one of their Mike McDonald went out to Seattle. He's doing well as a young upstart coach out there, and their defense is playing well. So who knows? But who's available to them? But again, the Baltimore team that we remember and think of, Lamar's really struggled. He got a knee to the back. That's what his injury was last week, Tay, when they were playing the Patriots. They had a 14-point lead in that football game and ultimately lost, and basically sent their playoff hopes almost to nothing. They have to win out, and they have to essentially have Pittsburgh lose out. They do play Pittsburgh the final week of the season, but obviously they play Green Bay Saturday night. It means they have to win. And Pittsburgh plays the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. So they are on fumes. Whereas the Packers, we just talked about their playoff piece, and that is they got to win one game and they're in of the last two. Simple as that. Win one and you're in.
Yeah.
Even don't win any and the Lions lose one and you're in. So the Packers have a much, much easier path to the playoffs, where the Ravens' hopes are, dimming quickly.
Yeah, I don't like the wounded animal, the cornered animal either, though. Like
it's scary. Yeah, and they're not going to know obviously the Cleveland result till the next day, the Cleveland Pittsburgh result. The Packers will know the Minnesota Detroit result from Christmas Day. I expect Detroit to win. So I don't think that'll play a part into it. But again, the Packers, if they have bigger plans anyway, they want to go win those last 2 games to give themselves a chance, as I just mentioned, to win the division. What do you know about these Baltimore Ravens, Tay, before I give you a little bit about them?
Not too much. I mean, they're on life support for their season. Lamar Jackson is basically out. Can't rely on him right now. You have Derrick Henry there, who I've never really been a fan of personally, but he's fumbling like last week, and
that was a big one.
I don't even know. I can't even off the top of my head. I can't even think of a receiver there. I know they have Andrews, the tight end.
Sounds like Tay, but it starts with the Z.
Oh, Zay Flowers. He's pretty dynamic. He's been getting all the big play action. He's a quick little dude that could even run from the backfield and pull a Savion Williams.
That's not a comp yet.
Dang, I'm trying to will it into existence. Whenever Savion gets that, I'm just like, what's happening?
Savion's big, by the way, too. He's like 6'4", man.
Yeah. It's like, what are they doing? I don't really know much about the defense. I mean, historically they've been good, but not of late. So that's pretty much all I know. We should have a really good chance of beating this team in Lambeau.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned Lamar. He's had issues. He was 7-10 for a 101 before he left. And then they had Tyler. They call him Tyler Snoop Huntley. 9-10, 65 yards, 93.8 QBR. The aforementioned Zay Flowers, 7 for 7 for 84. They gave up, going back to that D, 380 yards passing to Drake May today. Almost 400 yards in the air. So you can pick up stuff in the air. That's why you'd really like to see. I know you're a number 2 guy. You were before Malik wore it. And you still are with Malik there. But Jordan Love is the guy you want behind center if you're playing this team, because you can pass on him. And the Packers could have a fun day at the office with the wide receiving core. We can't say tight ends because do they have more than one at this point? Do you need to ring up the old cat Mercedes Lewis and say, hey, we need a blocking tight end?
Yeah, please come.
Honestly, it wouldn't be. I would have thought that would have made sense this week, Tay. And why? Know why? Because they need a blocking tight end, and he knows Matt LaFleur's system.
Didn't someone sign him?
I don't know. I
think someone signed him.
I don't know that he's on a football team, Tay. You look that up while we're talking Baltimore Ravens here, but at the same time, this Ravens secondary, they did have 4 sacks and 10 QB hits. That's not bad from their front 7. They did give up on the ground too. We talked about the 380 to May. They gave up 151 yards, 6.9 yards a carry to the New England Patriots today. That's no bueno. So you're talking, they gave up almost 500 yards of offense. That should be something you can have a little fun with come Saturday night and get yourself into the postseason with a win against the Ravens. Derrick Henry, Tay, King Henry, I think he's a good running back. I don't know why you don't like him. He's always been good. Just a boatload to bring down. I remember the Packers had a great game against him some years ago in Lambeau late season, and they needed that win in December. But he had 128 on the ground, 7.1 yards carry against the Patriots today. The dude can still run. Yes, he's been not so good with the handles on the football at times this year, fumbling more than he's ever has in his career. Certainly gives, the Packers a punching chance at maybe a turnover there. And he did also have 2 TDs on the ground. Other names when you think of this Baltimore offense, been around a while, is Mark Andrews. And the guy I always forget is still in the league. DeAndre Hopkins is part of that wide receiving core, Tay. Yes, I think he had like 40 yards receiving last week. But yeah, he's He's still in the league, Tay. He plays for the Baltimore Ravens. D-Hop.
Didn't he? I think didn't he have a name too, a nickname? He changed his name or something. While you were while we were talking, I was looking up, and Mercedes Lewis is still in the NFL. He is currently on the practice squad for the Denver Broncos. He was elevated, and he played like for a couple weeks, and then he got put back on the squad. Does
that mean you could go yank him?
Yeah, you'd have to put him on the 53 if you grabbed him.
Right.
So you could go grab him.
I mean, they kind of need a tight end, and a blocking one at that.
The Packers would never do that. They're just so like conservative, and anyone that walks out the door rarely ever comes back. But I guess maybe when you deal with these vets that I don't know, have put in their time or their tenure, it's like they look at.
You would think he and Matt have a reasonable working relationship, so I would think it would work out pretty easily.
I mean, strictly blocking, but there's got to be other people out there. We picked up Wiley, who was pretty decent until he got injured. So there are guys out there. I don't see any moves happening. Do you, with the tight end position?
I think I've got another one on the practice squad. So that's how the Packers do. So they'll bring up Packers practice squad tight end.
And I don't see Musgrave being that guy yet. He's like he still feel like he still has his training wheels on. Maybe he's still JV and he's working his way up to the varsity team.
Yeah, he can block. Yeah, just a little bit. He's more of a wide receiver, as we know. He's a receiving tight end. That's really it. Even then, you still see jumbo packages because you need to bring in an extra lineman.
That's fine. I love that. But even as a receiver, I'm just like, all right. Sometimes he just like catches the ball and goes down, and you're like, what happened? Like, fight. Like you're always looking for that yards after catch attitude or fight or mentality, and it's like Musgrave just like catches the ball and goes down. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, he's had his fair share of struggles. We know that.
So defensively, I mean, they're not great. They're 27th, you said.
In overall defense, yep.
So I don't know. I mean, it's ripe for the Packers. Like, I guess it's a get right game for them. Injury wise, no. It's you still got to go through that process, a healing process for people in their particular injuries. So it's not like it's any better that you're playing a lesser team. You still have to get over that hump. So hopefully it's next man up. You get some confidence from a win against the Ravens with some of your backups or fillers. That could be positive. But just like get your mentality back off of losing to the Bears and getting it back into playoff mode, because there is still a chance. I mean, this team still has the potential to go deep. They just have to get over some of those mistakes they make that are detrimental to the game, and just kind of keep everyone healthy on the field. But it's still possible, Ren, that they can go places this year yet. I know it kind of takes the wind out of the sails. When a Kraft goes down, a Micah Parsons goes down, a Tom goes down, a Jenkins goes down, a Wyatt goes down. But that's also happened in years we went to the Super Bowl. So it's still possible. This team has
had to
a
go
lot of life left.
I had to go to Chicago in a wild card performance in an NFC championship game, Tay, when they were the lowest ranked playoff team in the NFC. Why not this year, Tay?
It would be pure vengeance if we went down there and beat them in the playoffs. I mean, how?
I say, you hope they get the Bears if they don't win the division.
Yeah.
That first wild card weekend in Chicago. Bring it on. If I'm a betting man and I've got, let's say, not crazy money, but I got to put $1,000 down. And I got to pick one. I'd put it on the Packers. No doubt about it.
Says the diehard sicko Packers fan.
No, I watched them play the Bears twice today.
I know.
That's it. But yeah, Tay, I mean, the last thing I'll say here is this may be the final home game of the year. You got your home crowd out there. They should want to go out and perform. There's too many reasons why to go play well, play hard, get a win, get in, feel good about yourselves. Right after obviously the holiday here. I don't see why the Packers would lose. They're 2.5-point favorites, which is not even getting the home cooking 3. So, nobody's feeling real great about them, clearly.
Yeah.
But I will say, you always want predictions, and I'll go first. I'll say 24-17 Packers win Saturday night.
Okay. I was thinking the teens for the Ravens, so I'm going to just put out 15. I think I just don't see them scoring more than 2 touchdowns, or at least even 1. Packers 23. I'm going to say 23-15. Yeah,
it's kind of weird score, my man.
Yep. I'm just gonna weird it up. I got the Santa hat on today, trying to spread some Christmas cheer. Might as well spread some weird predictions. But there's no reason why this team should lose to this Ravens franchise on Saturday. It's just there's no way. And if they do, we're back to I don't know. But I just got done saying that this team could go all the way. What the hell?
Man, remember when I was like just about having a fit and they just came back and won a game? I want to say it was against the Giants to start that 4-game win streak, and I could start to feel 3 losses in a row coming. I don't want that feeling, man, because they lose 3 in a row today. We're not going to be feeling very good about the football team going into the last game of the season against the Purple and 9 in Minnesota.
Well, let's end it here, Ren. Thanks for joining me tonight on this pre-holiday, pre-Christmas episode. We want to wish everyone out there a great holiday, however you celebrate, wherever you celebrate, and whoever you celebrate it with. Just be good to each other and get ready for the game on Saturday. Go Pack, go. Thanks for everyone joining the stream tonight. Again, we are live every episode. We're usually on Wednesdays. Today's a Tuesday. Sometimes it's a Monday. But we are on X, YouTube, and Twitch. And then we'll be back on Saturday night after the game, win, lose, or draw, to record our first takeaway. And that you can also join in on. So we hope everyone has a great holiday. Ren, thanks. And thanks for wearing your Christmas sweater today. I'm glad you could spread some cheer alongside me.
Hey, Tay, anytime we get to do this is a holiday in my eyes. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Until the first take, Tay, on the Pub List.